Hello there, just waiting for YouTube to awaken. This is the chat portion. Okay. And all right, we're all set. So blessings, and here we go. Greetings to you. I'm Michael. Greetings to everyone. And whenever you are ready, happy to connect.
Thank you, Michael, for coming. First up is Crystal Eve Snow. Are there any messages from my guide, Athena?
Yes, she is saying exercise is good for you. Maybe just a walk, something simplistic, but a walk would be good. Just a minor exercise would be good daily, just to keep your bones operating correctly. And she's also showing soup of some kind, whatever it might be of your fancy, a healthy type of soup of saying. The health guru has spoken. Blessings.
Okay, Crystal Eve would also like to know if there's any messages from her guide, Robert.
Well, yes, Robert is also saying to get out. He's saying nature trail, a nature environment is good. Every once in a while, it's also good for you to connect to the birds. You're very intuitive with the birds. You might not be fully aware of it, but they are lifetimes as a bird, so this is good for your vibration. It's up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Caden Dance. What messages do you have for me?
All you're seeing around you is creativity and energy. Whatever it is, creativity does seem to help you release. Right? It doesn't mean you have to be a sculptor or a drawer, but a project of creativity would probably be good for you at this time to help you release energies. That way you can think more clearly. But it's up to you, of course.
Okay. Caden's second question. My brother Frank was curious about what his current DNA origin breakdown is.
Well, actually, he's very connected to the angelic realms. He's also had incarnations where he's known Yeshua, but I don't believe on this planet. So as a brother type of energy. But for him at this time, let's see, Palladian 4%, Arcturian 5%, Yael 2%, Andromedan 3%. Those are the reptilian 4%. Blessings.
Okay. Next up is Maddie. Can you tell me a little about my previous life before this one and what my name was?
One moment. Your name, I don't believe that will be allowed to come through. It's possible, but basically we can give you highlights of it, but not the full description from what we already said. It's for public viewing, but also it seems like it has other reasons behind it. There's a lot of the lessons you're learning now from that lifetime, so you can't fully bring full the vibration up, but you were a worker. I am seeing of the steam tunnels. It was not slavery, but sometimes it felt that way. I believe it was a lifetime in England, from what I'm seeing. I am seeing around the 1920s. So it was not a laborer of type form seeing. It was not a long lifetime, but it was a very aggravating one. I do see many children around you also. Blessings.
Okay, second question for Maddie. How is my uncle Marega doing, who recently passed over in astral, and does he have any messages for me?
Oh, he just says to be strong. He says to eat strong, be strong. He let a lot of people get to him, and he still has some bitterness towards some of them. And he's just, it's for you, he's saying that not to follow. Well, it is not best to follow in those footsteps. And he's showing macaroni for some reason. So, blessings.
Okay. Next up is Tara. Are there any messages for me?
What I am seeing is a river, basically, meaning go with the flow. There's also a river with an ocean-like current, meaning there are going to be some stumblings, but also it does seem like the current is going to take you in a new direction, but it has not made itself known. So just basically to follow the path you feel right about. And I am seeing a creativity as for ideas coming through. But as for when that will happen, basically this will cause a change of direction, but it's not being clear when this will happen.
Okay, second question for Tara. Are there any messages for me from my ancestors?
Yes, you're living a life that many of them wish they could have, but they've been so many incarnations they have had, they are tired. There are younger ones that are reincarnating again, most likely will not have a connection with them. But for your ancestors at this time, some reason I'm seeing Napoleon around your ancestor energy. So, but there's basically what moment. Basically, not to think about the past too much. Rebuild your future. See it as a new, basically like a new house, a new everything. Visual. This is another way of manifesting new things, and to go with the flow. Also, not to force it on yourself. Because sometimes some get burned out. Just go with the flow, basically. Lessons.
Okay, next up is Marianne, and she would like to know if there's any messages.
Yes, the guides are sowing roses around you. Basically, a reconnection to nature would be good for you at this time. Could be roses, could be nature is good for you at this time. Help you get your mind off of things. You also have a guide by the name of Xander, from what I'm seeing. A male with no hair. A guide of feel a Jupiter energy around him. And you can connect to him. He has a lot of canine energy around him also, but this is one you can connect with. Hope for assistance. Blessings.
Okay, Marianne would also like to know if there's any messages from Mother Mary.
Mother Mary just says, let bygones be bygones. You do connect to her astral often. You are opening up new opportunities for yourself. She is showing sewing, some kind of pattern art. That's up to you if you wish. She's just showing. She's not giving an indication of what that means. That's for you too. It could be a symbol. It could be symbolism. This is a cryptic message. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Moses. My 2-year-old daughter is singing and dancing like an old style performer. Has she had a past life as a singer or dancer?
Of course. Basically, it's best to, well, you can always ask her where she got this from, where this all came from. She might give you clues to her past. I do see her like a go-go dancer. They're not getting a clear indication of what time period, but we are seeing that. A time of much positivity, of course. There's a lot of Spanish energy around her also.
Okay. Moses would also like to know if there are any messages for him, and his birthday is tomorrow.
Well, there, your guides are saying Mars. There's a lot of Martian energy around you at this time, and you're also renewing your energy field, becoming more Earth human, you can say. Without these alien influences clouding your vision, because they have in the past. But basically, you're going through a time of renewal and many years of more opening yourself up. Also, I'm seeing you as an insectoid, so you might be able to connect with that in your future time. I'm seeing like a diamond-like insectoid. So you're just basically most likely to see other versions of yourself when the time is right.
Okay, next up is Maggie777. Are there any messages for me from my higher self?
Yes, this life has been some ways a chaotic mess, as your higher self is saying. But it all has its purpose. Is not necessarily needed this time. The idea is to grow from those situations to make a better direction. It's like you're coming out of the forest. But also from that forest you are carrying a lot of new energies around you to help you ground, but also see more of the worlds around you. Basically, I see a Venus energy around you that's very strong. So most likely your third eye will start to, when the time is right, open up to that type of vibration. Others also, the seeing a Venus energy around you very strong. Lessons.
Okay, Maggie's second question. When I lived in Key West years ago, I had an out of body experience. What can you tell me about it, and why did I have it?
Well, for that, that was for your soul to release from this world, to let you know as much. You always wanted to remind yourself, as a reminder of what's going on, that you are basically a character in this world, a character in a play, basically. But also to let you know that all these things are real and you can reconnect. I'm also seeing Yeshua bringing assistance for you, as for your to sharpen your abilities, also to share your experiences. I believe the astral connection with you is very strong, at least in your meditative state. I believe that will strengthen itself if you wish it to do so. But this was basically to show you other realities. You basically wanted to connect to other realities, from what I'm seeing.
Okay, next up is Zinyu Ki. Many years ago, I dropped out of interior architecture. Was that because of my weakness, or was that a contract lesson?
It does seem like part of it was lack of interest and you wanted to explore other things. As for what it was, you weren't fully sure, but it did seem like a lack. It's just a lack of the interest wasn't as strong as it used to be, from what I'm seeing. Part of you is also ready to explore other things. So, and also you've had lifetimes in this area before, and it's just not the same as it used to be. From what I'm seeing, it's not, the freedom is not as there as it used to be. Blessings.
Okay, next one for Zinyu. I was told that I wasn't created to be a hardcore worker. So, what was I created to be?
Basically, to be you, whatever it is that you wish to be. What is it that you are? Look at yourself. What is it that you are? What you are. So, explore that. You are. I believe you are a strong soul. So, I am seeing creativity strong with you. I am seeing poetry energy. I know that sounds kind of strange, but I am seeing that. It's basically you're connecting to spiritual energies that are not always seen. And I'd say the poetic energy is actually quite strong with you more than you might realize. So who you are is basically you are still discovering that. So there's really no one to give you an actual definition because you're still in discovery. So it's whatever who you are is whatever you want to be. And I'm seeing a lot of canine energies around you also.
Okay, next up is Carol McLaughlin. Are there any messages for me?
Yes, your guides are showing the harp. They're showing life as a musician in your past lives, but also for you to explore them, listen through intuition, meditation of musician lifetimes. And this lifetime is very much different than those, but a lot of those other lifetimes, I have to say, are not free spirited now, but it seems like you're very much free spirited. Your other incarnations as a wild child, basically, from what I'm saying. You can probably connect to quite a bit of that, but you've come a long ways. Like, I don't need that anymore, but I see quite a bit of that. But you guys are just letting you know of your other experiences, basically. That's the message at this time. Blessings.
Okay, Carol would also like to know, what are my galactic or human connections between me and my sister Glenna?
Palladian mostly, Andromedan, but mostly Pleiadian. It does seem like you made a galactic council within the Pleiadians a long time ago. You've had so many incarnations as sisters, but also other races of soul origins, basically male, female, different types of. You take different types of roles. You're also in royalty for sure within the Palladians, but also in this incarnate. I see mostly Palladian. That seems to be the strongest vibration. But also Andromedan for a break from the Palladians because it was sometimes stressful within that incarnation.
Okay, next up is Gregory Savakul. Do my guides have any messages for me?
Well, your guides say at one time you were of a builder. They're showing bricks, bricklaying, but at this time you're finding a different route. But these bricklayer incarnations, I'm seeing quite a to understand. These are different civilizations, such as Inca. I'm seeing Inca as the strongest, but there are several incarnations. Is a builder basically, and that vibration is with you. As you have a lot of alien energies with you that you can explore if you wish. And some of the Incas has a lot of Arcturian and Reptilian, as you might be aware of. Something to explore through astral projection. Blessings.
Are there any other messages from anyone for Gregory?
Message from the Prime Creator. Bring more confidence to yourself. More confidence in your direction, your communication with others, and those that you feel like to have that communication with. You might not be able to connect to that now, but part of it, your communication isn't always as it could be. But that's something. It's not. He's not going to put the hammer on you, but there's parts that probably could be made a little bit better. Basically, so you can get out more, connect with more people more. It'll be good for you. But as of course, it's always up to you. Blessings.
Okay, next up is chat room 1, and we'll start with Miles B. Are there any messages from my spirit guides?
I am seeing a lot of Saturn energies around you. The Saturn beings, it seems to be astrally, you're connected to them often. For healing, there's also a female energy around you from what I'm seeing. It is a spirit guide, but also it does seem like a relationship system is being put together. From what I am seeing, I am not getting full details of this. I'll review that. Blessings.
Okay, next question for Miles. Does my grandfather, Edward B., have any messages for his family?
Well, yeah, it's not to worry about him. He is doing fine. He's showing himself. Don't think he did this in his life, but I am seeing him playing golf on the other side. But also with very large crystals, he is enjoying himself quite often. There's a lot of springs on the other side. He is swimming a lot. He is still healing from this world. So he says to bring more laughter in the family. The family needs more laughter. Basically, that's the message. That's the only one that would probably be understood the most. Basically, just people need to laugh more in the family. Some take things a little bit too seriously. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Bobby. I've been working on fears and prejudices that no longer assist me, and many times it feels like positive thinking isn't enough to calm them down.
Mm-hmm.
How do I make peace with the darkest parts of me?
Chakra healings. Chakra healings with the sun energies, the moon energies, Reiki. Reiki would be good for you also. It's a process. It takes time. You have to let go of these demons basically. And some of them don't want to let go because they're learning from them. So basically I believe Reiki would bring much assistance, but just basically put the intentions out also that you will find a way to heal, that you will heal. But it will take time to let go of these things because these wounds are quite deep. So a chakra healing would be good for with Reiki vibrations. You can use a meditation from your internet. Blessings.
Okay, second question for Bobby. Can you tell me of any spiritual blockages you see hurting my ability to connect? And please send it light.
Only that you had reptilian vibrations around you at one time. I don't know see their connections as strong as they used to be. I will send them light, but it does seem like they're just basically trying to put words in your thoughts, try to confuse you on what direction to go in. I believe you feel some of that sometimes, but not always. It's a test, and you'd be surprised. Some of these reptilians are actually your brothers. They're just there to actually help you grow more. I know it sounds strange, but they're not necessarily there in a negative way. So, but it is, you become more knowledgeable of that, I believe, it bring a healing to your lessons.
Okay, next up is Donna Riggs. My blood work says that my cholesterol LDL is too high. Would you please tell me whether I should do the cholesterol medicine or how can I change my diet to reduce the LDL number to where it's a safe balance for my body, as the doctor says I'm at risk for heart attack or stroke? Any information would be appreciated.
Well, we are seeing, yes, the medicine would be good. Also seeing fish oils. As for vitamins and lecithin would be good also. The fish oils is something to look into. You'd be surprised. They'll help clear out blockages. It's one process to begin. Blessings.
Okay, second one for Donna. I have a small tan rock that sits on my desk. It has strange markings on it as if it's been carved. Is this stone just a fossil or is it alien?
I believe just a fossil, but I believe that stone found you from what I'm gathering. And that stone is giving you energy, also ideas from what I'm seeing. Also, I believe it helps you sleep. I know it sounds a little bit strange, but it does seem like it's doing that. It's basically an artifact from your past. Not necessarily you knew that stone in the past, but it is a artifact from the past from what I'm seeing. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Joe M. Are the effects of EMFs in my life due to my own manifestation, or is it a part of my theme to go through this experience?
It is part of your theme, but I believe you'll be able to soften the vibrations. I believe you're learning that already. You're just more confident that you will clear this energy, that just have more confidence you will do so. I believe you'll be successful. You'll be able to, it is part of your contract though, but I believe you'll be able to handle it a lot better. Blessings.
Joe also asked if you could give him some detail about past incarnations.
Yes, and during the Renaissance time period, you were like a Renaissance man, one that did everything, build things. You had wife, children, but you're like Mr. Do It All or do many things, however you want to word it, just into everything. Not so much an inventor, but you were like an engineer of that time. During your Italy incarnation, I believe Milan was a place you visited, but there's other places, but that was the strongest energy we're seeing for you. Da Vinci possibly, that's, there's a possible connection you have. I believe you, I can't give you 100% on that one. You are mostly your own man, so you didn't really care about those that were famous during that time, but you were you created your own, you were a self-taught engineer at that time. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Susie. Does my main guide have any advice for me for August?
Yes, not to worry so much. Meditate with water, and just the idea is to keep your stress down. Whatever ideas you can do, either it's music, the idea is to keep your stress cool. Blessings.
Okay. Susie's second question. Can the Prime Creator provide details on any news for mid to late September? So Ivan mentioned perhaps something important will happen around or on September 23rd.
Most likely not at this time because it will not be, basically just go with the flow is all they can say at this time. As you say, it will be an energy change with you, and also focus will change greatly, but nothing negative. But you're finding your purpose, basically. So, blessings.
Okay, next up is Johnny D. Any messages about my past lives?
Only lifetime without giving an exact time period of this, but you're very good with the gun, basically. Good sharpshooter. I believe you can connect with some of that, but there's multiple lifetimes, so they're not going to go into one in particular, but definitely of the times of when that gun was created, you were part of that experience, I believe, for military purposes, for the most part, and for protection, of course, but an excellent marksman in multiple incarnations. I'll let you use your intuition on what time periods, though. They don't want to give out too much. Blessings.
Okay, Johnny would also like to know if there's any messages from his spirit guides and angels and would like their names, please.
Well, a guide by name of one moment. A guide by the name of, yes, I'm pronouncing the spelling that's might be a bit different. Herodina. Herodina is female. You say she's a Syrian guide. She is humanoid. Basically, it came to this world to be tested greatly. You felt like you weren't being tested enough in other realities, but also you wanted to become a master. Not saying of what, but a master that is for you to discover. It's not important right now, but over time, is that's kind of cryptic. But you're going for a soul growth within your a goal for your soul growth, basically. You also come from a time of werewolves that were very, very big werewolves. So you come from like a medieval world. So coming to this one was a very. It's not like you feel at home here, but in some ways you do because they're familiar with us from other realities. But as for full direction here, just basically you have a lot of mythology energy with you, basically. That is for you to connect with. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Lauren M. Could I know more about my past life?
One moment. On other Earth realities, you are a female doctor. Of course, on this Earth, it's very difficult to be a female doctor in the Earth's past. Now, time is different. Even now, it's still quite difficult. But other Earth realities, you are a female doctor, and this is just for you. This is also to open you up to other Earth realities. As for how you feel about all this, that's up to you, but I believe that will be very encouraging. You probably feel some of that you were one of great importance, not to say you're not now. But in those lifetimes, there are several, because you are very successful and also well known, like but this world will call it a PhD and things like that. Those worlds have made a lot more sense than this one. This one's kind of backwards, as you might be aware of. Lessons.
Okay, Lauren's second question. Are there any messages from my grandma Pat M or her brother Jacob?
Pat seems to like to talk a lot. On the other side, she's talking to. She does talk to the relatives often. She doesn't want to give out anybody's dirty little secrets, but she does talk to people, the family, one on one, very quietly. She seems to be a gossiper in some regard, but in a good way. She is helping the energy levels, I believe, of your father, if he's still incarnated. I feel like he is. I feel like he is. I can't get a full indication of that, but she is giving him energy at this time because he's going through a lot of stuff apparently. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Michael B. Any messages from my spirit guides?
Yes, your guides want to say your soul is actually very medieval time periods, many incarnations there, and a lot of that lives with you. Life of simplicity. You might not feel, I imagine you feel a lot of that right now, but also feel lost in this incarnation, very disconnected, because other lifetimes are very simplistic but also very fulfilling. In this world, it's kind of the opposite of great abundance, doesn't have much fulfillment, but also is helping you find your spiritual direction. In some ways, it will find you. You have a lot of Syrian energies around you also. Blessings.
Michael would also like to know if there's any messages about his past lives.
As a Syrian, you are a commander of a fleet, a very strong commander, a commander of many different. You know how to get out of war, basically, to talk your way out of it. You came close to war many times. Let's say mostly reptilians, but you found a way out of it each time. But basically, you're pushing the limits. You're going to places you probably shouldn't have gone. Then you would have your like Star Trek. You'll have your little invasion, and then you have to like talk your way out of it. So you did that several times. Basically, it's for exploration. You had other reasons behind it. You're not doing anything malicious, but you were. Sometimes the rules around certain areas were kind of unjustified. So, blessings.
Okay, next up is Juliana D. What are my spirit guides' names, please?
You have a spirit guide, female by the name of Anna. A moment, and another one by a male. He's not. A male. He calls himself. Guys usually sometimes use this name. Ocean. He calls himself. He's very clever. He's kind of a talker in some regard. He's kind of a smooth talker. I believe he's the one that's been communicating with the most at this time, and as your main guide. And the ocean one is, I believe that's someone you can connect with if you wish. He is quite humorous.
Okay, Juliana's second question. Could I know more about my past life? Thank you.
Yes, you had many lifetimes in Andromeda. Your incarnations here were of, I'm seeing a lot of blonde incarnations. Basically, you want to make sure you had blonde that's very Andromedan of you could say. Of a unique DNA that was that cannot be manipulated by others as easily. I believe Norway type of energies. So Norway lifetimes, I see a lot of those. Without the Vikings, though, more like Denmark time area from what I'm seeing. Basically, not necessarily lifetimes as wealth, but basically a lifetime as middle class. I'm seeing paintings, painters, your family connected to a lot of artists from what I'm seeing. I believe your family was actually very much farmers. I'm seeing around the 1500 time period. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Lisa M. We just opened a net branch and I would like to know how the company will flourish.
I believe it'll be bumpy at first. It's going to be bumpy for a couple of years from what it seems. They feel like sometimes this is a bad idea, but I believe they will make it work. But that word of mouth will help things get it going, but it's going to take some time. So there's going to be some worry around for a while, but I believe things will work itself out. The economy isn't exactly in the best shape at this time, but not to worry. Just keep your chin up. I believe it will work it out, but many are going to have a lot of tension for a while. It's quite understandable from what I'm seeing, at least. Blessings.
Okay, second question for Lisa. Do I have any messages from my angels? And can I also get their names?
Yes, you have an angel by the name of Rodan, and a female. She calls herself Kimmy. She likes that. She has that uppity energy around her. These are your guardian angels. Of course, you have Michael, my energy around you, and also Gabriel. Basically, for you to just there's a lot around you that seems a lot of ego around you that sometimes is intimidating, not to let that overwhelm you because sometimes they don't know what they're talking about. They're just worried about their financial goals, things of that sort. Right now, just connect with what is right. I believe you'll follow your paths quite well. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Jess. Was an individual by the name of Don B a few years back an archon energy trying to lower my vibration, and or have there been other archons that I've encountered in the past?
Yes, you've had many archons. Yes, you've had actually relationships with archons. So yes, this is no surprise. I believe this is just a new world you're still opening up to. Not necessarily need to fully see it, but yes, you've had. Yes, it's been a tremor through that. So yes, I believe you're healing through it though. Blessings.
Okay, second one for Jess. Did I visit Agartha with my soul mother, Lady Lakshmi, in Astro last night? And what messages does she have for me at this time?
Yes, you talked about a great amount of things, but basically just know what is important for you at this time. Just concentrate on what's important, just to have fun with your life, basically. Not worry about anything.
Okay, next up is Zach M. Are there any messages from my spirit guides?
Yes, I'm feeling a lot of feline energies around you. So you're a lot of combat lifetimes, but also lifetimes of peace. But the combat lifetimes are still living with you. As not to say you are violent, but some of it seems to be, there's more going on with it than you can connect with. You're releasing a lot of these lifetimes of just war, basically, from what I'm seeing. You actually had a lot of assistance from the Zetas. As for technology assistance, as for leaving war. So you'd be surprised. I actually got you out of a lot of that. Blessings.
Okay, Zach M. would also like to know if there's any messages.
Basically, your guides just say follow your instincts, your path, your joys, your excitement. Just follow that. There seems to be a female energy around you that's actually helping. I believe in your incarnation, and I believe it's spiritual. That female seems to be helping a lot. At least from what I'm seeing. If she's not there, she will be. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Tate. Are there benefits to moon gazing?
Of course, it all depends on. For you, yes. For others, no. For you, yes. It does seem like it's helping you open up more to your spiritual path. So,
Okay. Tate, second question. Are there any messages from my spirit guide?
Basically, your guides are saying with this moon connection, you can visualize your guides. The more you believe of their presence, the more they will show themselves. Of course, you're going through a test. A male shows himself. He has like a top hat, calls himself Marco. Kind of like a funny guy, kind of like Fred Astaire in some regard. You might see some of that, or if not, it's for you to just basically. There's a lot of hidden messages there, so there's something for you to explore, basically. Use your intuition, basically. Things.
Okay. Next up is Amy. Can you tell me about another life I've had with my son Luke?
Mostly Palladian incarnations. Mostly Palladian and angelic lifetimes. That's all I have for this time.
Okay. Second question for Amy. Are the archangels that we know, like Michael, just specific to helping our universe, or do they help other universes as well?
We have other universes, other Earths, and so do you. So don't feel like that it's just us. You are assisting, not just you're assisting yourself, but you're assisting us. We're also assisting those in your Earth reality and other Earth realities. So you might not call yourself an angel, but your presence is heavy.
Okay. Next up is Debbie M. When do you see us moving out of town?
That right now is up in the air. There is no time or date. That is up to you. It is in your hands, basically. I know that's not helping, but that's in your hands, though.
Debbie would also like to know if there's any messages from her guide.
Just basically follow your instincts. Also, this situation is helping you connect to your guides. Basically, this is for you to open your door to your guides so you can more understand your intuition, your abilities. So when this will happen, you will know more clearly. Basically, you're writing your future, but also you know the outcome of it. I believe the outcomes you become more clear of. So once the decision's made, your intuition will start to speak to you of where things are going after that. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Jim F. Was a device attached to me by the Anunnaki because I had a contract with them that I'm obligated to fulfill, or has the device now been removed?
It's been removed quite some time ago from what I'm seeing. And I believe you crushed it, but also I think you're a part of the creation of it. So you're testing yourself with it. Blessings.
Okay, second question for Jim. Any advice or messages for me as far as keeping my focus and restoring positive emotions at present?
A slight meditation daily does not have to be a heavy one, but a small one. It is basically you focus your vibration on what brings happiness to you. Find some happiness. Could be a movie, could be a song, and that there is a meditation. You always bring that movie or song into your meditation if you wish to get you into a meditative state. You can also have a fictional character talk to you in your meditation if that makes you feel better to open yourself up to your direction. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Angie S. Do my guides have any messages for me?
Right now, you are opening yourself up. Your guides are showing yourself as many insectoid incarnations, actually connected to Mary, Lady Mary, whatever she calls herself, as an insectoid, basically as a love bug. And a love bug energy, I imagine you can connect to because they have a lot of connections to you. When you see love bugs or look them up, I feel that it should help your spiritual energy open up. I know that sounds a little bit strange right now, maybe not to you, but for others who find it outrageous. But for you, I believe that it has, because basically it connects you also to the fairies and Agartha also. Blessings.
Okay, Angie, second question. Do you see me channeling in 2017?
That's an answer for you to make. You're still getting used to it. It's not something you jump right into easily, but it is a part of you that you will be opening up, yes. I believe you'd be opening up. As for fully channeling, yes, but in small increments. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Legion. Any messages for me?
Yes, your path here is quite interesting as you are aware. Many different timelines are opening up for you throughout your past, but also throughout your future. As for your place here, become more known. Basically, your spiritual direction is unfolding itself slowly. You actually have a lot of Martian incarnation connections, but also you came to this world to open up a lot of portal energies. Eventually, you'll realize that right now, basically for knowledge. So you might see areas of your world, maybe in your news, that starts to change dramatically and slowly change is because a portal energy was open. Basically, well, this is something for your intuition to connect with. Blessings.
Okay, second question for Legion. Who are my guides?
You have a male guide by name of Nazareth, and a female, that's your main guide, and a female by name of, I'm getting Betty. She's a quiet one. She has a lot of unicorn energies around her at this time. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Chloe. My mom's energy level is low. Is it because of the lunar eclipse coming up?
Yes, but also Agartha is going through a lot of low vibrations at this time. She's being heavily connected to it. So Agartha is going through a lot of negativity. Not entirely, but part of it is. Blessings.
Okay, her second question. What is happening around me in astral? And that's for Chloe.
Well, it does seem like you're actually getting yourself out of a lot of situations at this time. There's a lot. You're also closing down a lot of old relationships so you can focus on what is right for you. Some beings are confusing you to a certain degree, so they're draining you. So I know this is all vague. It's vague for a reason. But you are opening yourself up to more positivity, but many beings around you are causing drama around you. Not to name names, but you will clear it out eventually. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Wanda 11 in chat room 2. I was once told I should look into Egyptian goddesses. Can you tell me how I am connected to any of them?
Yes, but mostly through relationships. Mostly through intimate relationships. I'll let you connect with that though, because a lot of it is for private consumption, from what I'm seeing. A lot of sacred information there also. Blessings.
Okay, second one for Wanda. I had a draconian commander around me that I was under at one time. Can you tell me when this was and how it is that I no longer have this aspect or how I got away from that situation?
Oh, you no longer need the test anymore. So you asked them to leave. Whatever, it was a test that was needed for the time being. And you no longer needed it. I believe he left on his own. But I believe you. But it helped you in many ways. As for what that is not being clear at this time. Because it's not necessarily to be known, but it was a part of you that you truly needed it, though. It's part of your soul growth, basically.
Okay, next up is Henry. Can you tell me the name of the being that paid me a visit last night?
I would do what I can. I actually need more details on that, but one moment. They're not giving me much detail. One moment. I. They're just saying the name. Their name is I. That's all. Blessings.
Sorry. Second one for Henry. Are there any aliens that are trying to reach me that I haven't spoken to before? And are there any messages for me?
Not at this time. Nothing new. There is a Syrian energy around you at this time. They're just protecting your energy field. They're also helping you write your contract, your life contract in the way that you wish it to be. You are getting assistance from many, but you're going slow at that. You have nothing dramatic to happen. You're changing your contract slowly. So, but this won't happen for a couple of years. As for the big changes, but you are in the midst of it. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Vasco. Are there any messages from anyone?
Yes, there is a reptilian council you've been going to recently, releasing a lot of the low vibrations that have been around you for some time throughout your incarnation. You no longer need their assistance, but they're also, I made you made peace with a lot of them also. You did have a contract with them, but I believe it's been changed rapidly only because it's like the service was not exactly what you signed up for, meaning they were changing your contract little by little. I believe it had to do with your work or your vibrations were there. So they kind of like they made a contract and then they kind of broke it. So I believe that's been cleared out now. Lessons.
Okay, second one for Vasco. I've been experiencing chills all day, Saturday and Sunday. What is the message and who is it from?
Just your spirit guides. You are your energies sent. Your energies. You're opening yourself up. They're just opening you up. That's all. You're connecting to other dimensions. Your third eye is opening up ever so slightly. So you're just awakening. That's all. Blessings.
Thank you. And I'll go next. My name is Stacy. Um, and just wanted to ask a question about my appetite. So, in one case, I would love to have like one vegan meal a day or something just healthy for me, one or two meals a day. And then on the other hand, it's like I have these really old habits that are dying hard. And I'm just wondering if there's any messages in regards to the appetite.
I don't know. Just do whatever you feel is right. It's just, it's your body. It's your. If there's food that you don't feel like you eat, but you eat that the food that you feel like you're not comfortable. You need it for a reason. It's there for a reason. You need to. It's just fulfillment. We're not getting fulfillment in other places. So right now, food is a fulfillment where life isn't always fulfilling in those places. So it's another way of. It's like when some aren't following the path that they feel like they should be following, or the other incarnations where everything worked out well in this lifetime. It's not working out as well, so you have food is put in those places for that reason. So yes, I believe it's fine. You will know what's right for the intake. So for right now, it's doing what it needs to do. That makes sense.
Okay. That actually leads into the second question that I have because I've been having a lot of um, struggle in regards to my chosen path. between, do I go towards childcare? Do I go towards healing? Do I go towards both? And I feel like there's a lot of pressure to like make a decision, and then I relax and give myself space around it because it's up to me and it's my choice. But then there's still it's like if I'm going to choose childcare, then commit to that 100%, or if I'm going to choose healing, then I have to commit to that 100%. Or do I do both? So there's a lot of confusion around that, what path to choose.
Well, it does seem like the path of self-fulfillment, but also financial. So what we are seeing, the child path probably be the most at least financial helpful until that is no longer fulfilling. At least that's what we are seeing on our side. But of course, you can choose whatever you wish.
Yeah, ultimately that was something that I had considered, was just to do the childcare up until a point that the healing service was
Exactly.
enough that I could let go of the childcare.
Yes, whatever you find, yes, there's always you can do both, but the healing can always that will always take time for it to grow. Anyway, you're still learning your abilities. So I feel the financial connection would probably be the most better at this time. That's up to you,
Okay.
of course.
Thank you. It's making me tired.
Yes.
So, okay. And then just one general question, if you had any messages in regards to the moon phases that we're in, or the Lion's Gate um, portal that has opened.
Some are being connected by the Lion's Gate portal. Many are being affected by it greatly. Others are just going about their normal day. Those that need to connect to the Lion's Gate is for healing, for dimension purposes. They have their reasons for those connections. It is much needed for the soul, but for others, they're just going to go about their other. So connect to it, channel it, heal with it. It is there for a reason.
And even if you're not consciously connected to it, it'll still affect you if necessary.
Oh yes, if it is yes, everyone's getting affected by it to a certain degree. It changes timelines. It does all kinds of things. So,
Okay. Well, thank you, Archangel
yes,
Michael. Thank you for coming in.
yes. Blessings all, and good night. Thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.